Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dream Team Tonic podcast. Tonight is the juicy one you've all been waiting for. Our Dream Team first drafts for the 24-25 season. Ben, you ready? You all good?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Waiting to see your team of 11 Leicester players.
Not quite. I'd love
There
to have
might
a
be
full
one.
team, but it's not. I'm not that confident this season.
Surely Vardy. But we'll come on. We'll save it. And Tony, you keeping well?
All good, mate. All good.
Yeah.
Ready for this?
No Blackburn players in your team, though. Unfortunately.
No. I have got one in the AFL game, though.
Maybe next year. We are hosting this live to our Patreon members. So just to shout out a few that are in the chat, we've got C Tobes. Great to be back. We've got David F, one of our new members. We've got Gary Walker, Philip Harrison, Adam Gregory, another new member, DG Bournemouth, I think another new Patreon member. I was going to shout you guys out after this, but in the chat as well. Jimmy Wilton. We've got David Parker and regular Conk FF joining us. So evening to you guys. And just a shout out to a few new members as well. So James Wilton, who's obviously joining us here, Dave Gibbs, Noel Brennan, Neil Durant, Lee, Tim Adams, Steve Broughton, Patrick's rejoin, UTFV, and Tom. Great to have you on board, guys. Straight into the juicy stuff.
Well, I was just about to say, I can't remember which way you've done the slides, but are we doing the questions first, then the drafts?
We'll go drafts first. So it might answer a few questions with the drafts, but yeah, let's just go straight into it, I think. Leave a like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're watching this at a later date, but let's go straight into it, I think.
Yeah, no worries.
With you, Tony, up first.
Here we go.
Talk us through.
Well, I mean, I've been chopping and changing quite a bit, as probably everybody is. This is where I've got to this evening. I did have Sells in, but then I keep hearing doubts about whether this 7-foot monster is going to oust him. So I like Notts Forest opening 2 games. So it could well be Sells. I do want to just set and forget a keeper, really. I don't want any of this messing around, swapping cup games. I'd rather have someone who plays and doesn't really have much behind him. So I've just gone for Fleck at the minute from Brentford. Seems safe enough. And that isn't through fixtures or any planning. You know what I'm like. I usually play without a keeper anyway. So it's just I'm going to try and keep him as cheap as possible, a mainstay, a number one. So that's why he's in there. First defender, Porro, most expensive defender I've got, 4 million. Again, I think defenders this season, I think we're going to go for goals. I think we're going to go for attacking players. Not really banking on many clean sheets. I have had a few drafts with a more expensive defence in and maybe trying to sneak some clean sheets like a Gavardiol or someone like that. And I've seen Trent in quite a few drafts as well. But Porro, I think he got a goal last friendly.
Yeah.
So nice little start in the summer as well. So if there's anyone that's attacking, he is. So he's in there. Livramento, who I thought brilliant at Newcastle. Well, he was brilliant at Southampton as well. I think he's a top player. Hopefully, he gets a nod in one of them fullback spots this season because he could be an absolute points machine. And especially with Newcastle having a really nice opening 2 games. That's why he's in there. Again, if I hear any doubts about these players not starting, then they're coming out. So and another one, Crystal Palace, who had a great end to the season. This lad came in in January as well. Proved to be a decent signing. I think, I haven't wrote it down, but I think it's in the other day, his season points, he averaged something like 5 points a game all the way through. So he had to start at the start of the season. He would have had a nice, really nice return. Again, attacking player, involved in quite a bit. So, and Palace have a nice start. And if they can pick up where they left off last season, I know they've lost Elise. But they've still got some very talented players there. Obviously, a really good manager as well. Who come in and just galvanise them. So, yeah, fancy Palace to have a decent start. So he's in there.
He's basically an attacker, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what I'm aiming for. They can sneak a clean sheet. Excellent. They've got decent fixtures. I know Porro's up against Leicester first up in it. Don't really know how Leicester will do. It's going to good manager. It's going to depend on the investment, and they probably just need to bolster that squad a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, he got Munoz got 7 goals last year before he moved to Paris.
Oh, we lost Tony there.
Now I'm back.
There you are.
You're back. You're back.
I just say Munoz got 7 goals last year before he moved to Palace. Is he gone again?
Yeah, I'll carry on. He'll join us.
Yeah, and the season before he got 8 goals as well. So quite a good return for a fullback.
He didn't get many goals, did he, for Palace? I don't know if he got any goals, but he got
score.
5 assists, wasn't it? 5.
Yeah.
Was it 5? So yeah, really, I think he had won the most amount of touches in the box as well. A lot of people were touting at one point. So yeah, I think it could be an exciting one. The only thing we saw, didn't we? That he didn't seem like he'd done that well for bonus. Is the only sort of downside, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. He only got 2 bonus.
Yeah, but he does look like an exciting player. 5th highest average out of all the defenders.
Yeah,
which is pretty mad. Obviously, he played a lot less games though. Is Tony going to join us back in, or are we going to have to take over his midfield?
And go to me if you want, and I'll do my team.
Yeah, we could double back to him. He's not messaged me privately or anything, so we'll go with yours, shall we? Oh no, hang on.
Here we go.
Oh, he was just pretending. He just went and got a beer. Technical difficulties, was it?
Yeah, it must have been. I've reconnected to a different connection. Right. Where was I?
Bruno G.
Yeah, Bruno G. Obviously, bonus points magnet. Great opening couple of fixtures. Yeah, you can get in the goals. You can get points from everywhere. He's a little bit like a Fernandez in that sense. He can just get assists, goals, bonus points, tackles, everything. So he's in there fixture wise. Nice price at 4.5 million. I think they've priced him quite fairly.
Bonus as well, didn't he? Most bonus points in the whole game. 83. Yeah,
I think when you marry that along with the decent fixtures they've got first up, I think it's a no-brainer. Szoboszlai, we were expecting him to do really well in Euros, weren't we? He didn't quite hit the heights that we thought, but he's somebody who's already back into pre-season. Him and Salah. So again, the player that he takes free kicks, shoots. It's good for an assist, good for bonus. So he's another player I don't really want to go without, especially that Ipswich fixture up first. Eze, again, as we touched on with Palace, impressed with the Palace team. 4.5 million, quite pricey, you would think, but again, he's a player who's getting points from everywhere. Bonus points and shots, tackles, dribbles, does a lot. And then maybe somebody who's a little bit different and out there but I do like Forest's opening fixtures is Gibbs White, but he's a man that's on everything, takes the set pieces, and most of their play goes through him. So he's a man that if Forest do well, he's usually involved in that. So he's there opening 2 or 3 games and try and get some rises out of him. Then I've just gone boring with the front three: Salah, Isak, Haaland. I think that's a little bit template at the minute. I was tempted to go without Isak, but then with the fixtures, and it's too dangerous. I think those front three: Salah's got the fixture, Isak's got the fixture, Haaland's Haaland. He's got the second fixture, so I'm going to want him anyway. Yeah, I think that'll probably be cemented, that front three.
I cut it off, but you got 0.5 in the bank as well.
Yeah,
I think I saw. You saving that for anything in particular, or?
No, it wasn't. It's just I've picked my team. I could use it, obviously, with Flecken, maybe upgrading. I could possibly get a keeper that I could keep for the season for 3 million and not worry about it again. But I am also tempted to drop him right down to a nobody, really. But I just end up wasting transfers, and start
like
battling with this.
Like a 1.5 or something, or
yeah. But I do want someone who actually plays, even if it's only 2 points a week.
I noticed Muric isn't on the game yet. Who's going to be, as far as I checked anyway, the Ipswich keeper, you'd imagine.
Yeah, they paid big money for him, haven't they?
I reckon he'd be 1.5. Their other keepers, I think, are 1.5.
They had who did they have in the net?
They've got Slicker at 1 and Walton at 1.5.
Yeah, Hladicky went to Burnley. I think it must have been a swap deal because they've swapped keepers. He's gone off again.
All sorts of technical issues tonight.
Ben, do you want to pick Tony's brains about any of his picks?
No, I can understand pretty much all the picks. Attacking defenders, Livermento's going to start if Trippier's leaving. We still don't know about that, do we? So, looking like he's been linked with Saudi Arabia, but yeah, Bruno Gamara's bonus magnet, Gibbs White bonus magnet, Szoboszlai on set pieces gets the odd bonus. Eze on pens as well, bonus magnet, and then you got the front three. You probably got the best fixtures for the next few games. Obviously, Haaland's got a tough first one, but then he's got Ipswich the week after, so I think it's worth having him in.
Any considerations to like Europe? Have you got? Is it 4 there? Salah, Haaland, Szoboszlai, Porro. But I guess we've got, was it like 6 transfers?
Yeah, no considerations whatsoever.
No.
So
get those Carabao Cup doubles in.
Yeah, I just think you got to play it short, 2 week stints. I think I like to think in 2 weeks you got 4 transfers. You can usually bounce around enough. Even if you caught maybe with 1-2 players light in Europe, it's only a week. You might have already earned them extra points through the Carabao Cup anyway, if your players do play. Like say, we want them to get a bit of a tricky draw, like we discussed up last pod. Be nice.
Got your 5 pen takers as well. No, it looks good. We go on to Ben's.
Yeah, let's go.
Let us know in the comments. You can rate Tony's team.
Yeah, don't rate my shirt.
Right, let's go to yours, Ben. There we go.
Right, well, so I've got the same front three as Tony. Haaland, Salah, Isaac at the moment. Like I say, good fixtures. Currently captain Salah for the Ipswich match. And I've got the vice captain on Isaac. Midfield, I've gone for Saka. Good fixtures. And I think he's got the best fixtures out of the 6 million midfielders at the moment. 363 points last season and 52 bonus points. He burnt me when I sold him, didn't he? He had less fixtures. I think I sold him for a 4 for 2 over him. I think, or I know I had Sterling in my team, and Sterling had that little good run at the start of the season, and he had a two doubles, and I sold Saka to make way for something else to get more double players in, and he burnt me badly. I think he got a goal in both games, and he did like really well on the bonus as well. So
yeah, he did.
So yeah,
he was like double figures every game, weren't he, for like 4 matches or something?
Yeah. He was a top goal scorer top point scorer in the game last year as well. He even outdone Haaland. Then the next one is my enabler in midfield, James Garner, 2.5 million. He got 199 points last season, and he only scored 1 goal, 2 assists, but he got 38 bonus points and a hell of a lot of tackles and just involved chances created. So I think for 2.5 million, he's a great enabler at the start of the season. Obviously, there's players in here which you think, why are these in his team? But it's all about building budget at the start of the season. You get these cheap players in, and if they start well, then they should go up in price, and you can move on to the more premium players, if you will. Eze is the same as Tony, star man at Palace, 48 bonus points, and he had a few injuries last year. So imagine if he can stay fit, he'll be flying. Like you said, he had 1 game, he lost 5-0 to Arsenal, didn't he? And he still got 5 bonus points.
Yeah, he did,
I was at that game as well, and I was watching it, and in my head I was tallying it up, and I can't get a signal there, and I was like watching him skin players and take shots from distance and get fouled constantly, and I was thinking this is going to be big, even though they were 5-0 down. I think Roy got sacked after that game as well, and he's coming away with his 5 bonus.
Yeah, but like say, if he's doing all that in the match, his PPM's going to go through the roof. So very exciting player. Another one who I really like, Maddison. Obviously, seen him at Leicester, scored a lot of goals for Leicester. Last 2 seasons, he's been a bit unlucky with injuries, but he only made around 30 games last season and the season before Leicester sold him. But 43 bonus points for him last year, averaging 6 points a game. Only 4 million, so I thought it's a decent one to start with.
Yeah.
Hopefully can get his value up. Mid in defence, I've got Trent at the back, 5.5 million, averaging 6 points a game, 35 bonus points. Yeah, so he didn't have a great season last year, another one with injuries, but if he played the full season, he would have been up there with the others. We've got a question later on, and I'll go into a bit more detail. Right, I've got a new one here. Valentin Barco. He's a left back, but you can also play midfield and left wing. He's just signed for Brighton last season. He came in and played a few games at the end of the season. Stupinjan's injured at the moment, and he'll be playing left back, and he's been taking some set pieces in pre-season, so like the look of him. Very exciting. They're signing from Boca Juniors. So yeah, and with Pascal Gross leaving, he could be on even more set pieces and potentially moving into midfield when Stupinjan's back. Next one, Anthony Robinson. I don't like it, but he absolutely smashes the bonus points. Literally does nothing. Got hardly any assists last year, and he didn't get a goal, but he got 41 bonus points, 201 points, and averaging 4.6 points a game. He's got a good start to the season. Apart from the Man U away game, he's got a nice run of green fixtures, and obviously Carabao Cup in game week 2, so he might play in that, hopefully. Leicester after the Man U game, Ipswich away, West Ham at home, potential Carabao Cup 3rd round for a possible double game week, and then I think I'll be jumping off from then, unless I get stuck with him and he's smashing the bonus again. And then at the back, I've got one of my Leicester players. So I've got one in. Last year we had a cheap goalie, didn't we? Sam Johnston. Was he 1.5 last year?
Yeah.
I can't find one at the moment that exciting. But Hermanson last year was excellent for Leicester. Best goals prevented in the Championship, 6.7. So he prevented 6.7 guaranteed goals, basically. 114 saves. His save percentage is up there with like Alisson in the Prem. I know it was Championship last year, but it's 73.5%, which is exactly the same as Alisson, who's top of the Premier League percentage. And 13 clean sheets. And I think he only conceded 41 out of 46 games. So, yeah, he's got decent save potential. So hopefully I'll get a few bonus points from the saves and hopefully get a couple of clean sheets here and there. Not expecting anything, but for 2 million, I think it could be a good pick.
What's the talk like on your defence as well? Because like you've got some experienced names in there, haven't you? You've got Premier League proven defenders in there, like pretty solid at the back, hopefully.
Well, he's tinkering at the moment. Cooper, he's played with for 3 and he's played with 4 at the back, and you've got Connor Cody, who's a great player, a great leader. He might get back in the team because he was sort of a bit part player last year. And Vestergaard had an outstanding season, so he was playing as a central centre back, pinging the ball about at the back.
Found his level, didn't he, Vestergaard?
That's the thing, yeah.
Because he had a murder, didn't he? Before that, he were getting hounded out, weren't he?
Yeah, well, he had a good season at Southampton, didn't he?
Yeah, really.
And then he was really good on Sky a few years ago for passing, and he had the odd chance at goal and that. But when he moved to Leicester, he just fell out of Rodgers and he never really got back in the team until we left. And then he was supposed to leave for Fulham at the start of last year, and he didn't go in the end. And we ended up keeping him, and he ended up making it into the Euro squad and everything. So, he had a good season. Pushed Cody out. Cody was bought at the start of the season last year, and Cody got injured in pre-season. He was bought as the marquee centre-back. Yeah. But he got injured, and he was out for a good 6 weeks. So, and then he couldn't get back in the team. So, you got him, Cody. You've got Voutface as well, who's just crazy, but he's decent, but I don't know if he'll be good enough for the Premier League. And we just signed an Italian under-21 centre back called Acoli, who's fast as hell from Atalanta. So hopefully we'll have a decent defence.
David Parker saying Vestergaard's slower than Tony's Wi-Fi. Some late joiners as well. Evening to James and
hey up, James.
Patel. David F says Barco's one that he's keeping an eye on as well. I like that pick.
2 million he is.
Yeah, taking it. I saw, obviously it's pre-season, isn't it? But on Twitter, every time a certain team's playing, you get people commentating over those games on Twitter, and every single corner that he put in, everyone's like, "Oh, the delivery." So I've not seen it myself, but apparently puts in a nice corner.
He's good with the ball at his feet as well. It's quite jinky.
Yeah, I like the look of that. And as you've probably seen him, we're thinking along similar lines, aren't we? With the bonus points being like a key thing, I think, because I was finding it as well. Players go hot and cold, and if you don't catch them at the right time, it's tough, isn't it? But I think the bonus, people seem to be a little bit more consistent with that, I think. I
had obviously, like you say, how many drafts you've probably done the same, Ben. But I've had Madison in at one point. I've had Robinson in as well. I've not touched Trent. I'm a little bit same with Saka as well, with the English lads that are coming back. Same with the Spanish players, obviously Rodri and people like that. I know there's been a comment off Pep that he said he's going to bring him back in after the Charity Shield. They'll start to get minutes after that. Now, that to me says they won't start. I know that's only Pep. It says that they'll probably come on for the last half hour, at last 45 in the opening match, I would think, depending on obviously when they turn back up training. So just any of the English squad, it's putting me off a little bit. Obviously, Trent's got a cracking fixture first up, and if he does play, that's why I'm looking at Conor Bradley for that first game as well at 3 million. Because if Trent isn't playing, then obviously Bradley will get that right back spot, and obviously we know how well he did last season when he came in. So yeah, just are you keeping an eye on that? Obviously, Ben, with Trent and Saka.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we're still quite a way off the season. Like we said on the last pod, wait to see the last pre-season games and the Community Shield for the lineups. I know, like Pep said, probably won't see the English or the Spanish boys. But yeah, we will get more information as we get closer to the season, so then we can alter our teams to the information we get. But yeah, if Trent's not starting against Ipswich, then I'll definitely take him out. I'm not too sure about the Bradley one, just because it might be booking a transfer in. That's the only thing. Unless you can literally say, "Oh yeah, I'm happy with the other 10 players," and you definitely know you're booking that transfer in. Just hopefully you don't get any injuries. I've got a few players in my team there who did have injuries last year, so I'm a bit worried about that. But they are bonus. They are bonus players. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how they get on.
Right. I'll do mine quickly then as well.
Just as well, Hermanson, he could be the cheap goalkeeper after.
He's got an eye for it, hasn't he, Ben?
Yeah.
These keepers.
Follow Ben with his keeper picks.
I don't know.
But then again, the last time when you got the Johnston pick last season, then I jumped on it and he got injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Right. Well, you were slating my keeper, so let's start with a keeper where we spoke about it last week. I'm torn. I think a lot of people are in the same boat, deciding maybe between Miguel and Sells for Forest. But their opening fixtures look pretty good. So Bournemouth home, Southampton away, Wolves home. But we don't know which one's going to start yet, do we? So we're hoping that clears up. But the 2 million looks quite nice for the keeper spot. I saw that Forest conceded something like 22 goals from set pieces. And a lot of the talk online seems to be that they've bought this 6'8" bloke to just try and sort set pieces. And I don't know if it will pay off, but the new bonus is for keepers is successful claims, successful punches. I don't expect him to be doing much sweeping. But if he can do a few claims, a few punches at 6'8", hopefully he can get a few bonus points in there as well, perhaps. Livramento, same sort of logic as you. Obviously, Newcastle got great looking opening fixtures, but he done well from bonus points again in the little games he played. So 35 matches he played, but only 20 of them were starts. And he got 29 bonus points in 20 starts. So I thought that's pretty good for bonus if he does end up starting. But only 1 goal, 1 assist. But his average is shown at 3.3, but he made so many sub appearances. Yeah. The average is going to be less anyway, isn't it? Plenty of other free. I think, who did you have at 3 million that you weren't sure on? Was it Livramento as well?
Livramento.
Yeah, I was just thinking at that price point, I've actually put down that there's a lot of good options like Munoz,
there is.
Mikolenko, same price, or Ait Nori, but his fixtures aren't that good. So I think there's plenty if you need to jump around there. I've gone for Vardiol. This spot was Robertson at first for that Ipswich game, but he seems like he's got an injury and he might be a doubt for the start of the season now. So I've just moved it to Vardiol for now because he's got Ipswich the game after. And he was obviously class, wasn't he, towards the end? 5 goals, 3 assists, basically playing as a left winger at times towards the end, wasn't he? So hoping he can carry that on. I think he looks quite underpriced, really, if you compare him to like the Arsenal defenders at like 5 mil, even Trent maybe. Yeah, I like Vardiol. And then Robinson for the same reason as Ben, really. 41 bonus from 44 matches. That just seems to be consistent, at least. 7 assists, 111 tackles, which was 2.5 a game. So I was looking at it thinking he's going to get 2 points for the start. He could get 2 points for tackles, and it seems like he'll get 1 bonus a match. So that's 5 points. That's 5 points as a starting spot almost.
Yeah.
If he can hit those, and then if he gets the clean sheet, then you're in, aren't you? So I like the look of that. Saka, I've gone with. This one I'm not entirely sure. I do want Arsenal. Again, the same reason is, will he be at his best or will he be fit for the season? I think he's back in training this week. I could consider moving it down to Ødegaard maybe if I wanted to try and free a little bit more money up and then get Saka once he's sort of back to his best. But yeah, this was a hard one to try and decide between like Foden, KDB, Bruno, Palmer. But for now, I'm just going to leave it on Saka. I like that first fixture. I think we do quite well against Wolves. And then Garner, I'm banging the Garner drum as well, which I think a lot of people will probably find mental. But I was just looking FF stuff. Obviously, we shout them out all the time, but you can even go back and look at the match center from last season, and even in the opening games, like if he's playing against the big teams, he's getting tackles. He's still getting bonus against the teams around Everton's level. He's still doing well. Like I said, I'm finding it. If you choose a 2.5 million striker, you're not expecting them to score goals every week. You're trying to predict the hot and cold. Defenders, you're kind of waiting for a clean sheet. If you don't get a clean sheet, you kind of get nothing. But I just feel like with him, 4.5 average. If I can get 4 every week, I think I'll just take it and then hopefully get a price rise. I had a look. He took about half of Everton's corners. Takes the in-swingers from one side and McNeil takes them from the other. So yeah, can chip in. Maddison, similar again, but I just want to try and get a whole team of bonus players and try and play it a little bit differently. We've got a question, I think, from Magoo later about what did we sort of learn from last season, and I think the bonus did play quite a big role in it. So yeah, I like the look of Maddison. The only thing I was listening earlier to Planet FPL, and I know FPL is a different game, but James from Planet FPL is a Spurs fan, and he was saying that he wouldn't consider Maddison at all until he sees some good form out of him because he done so badly towards the end. So that did worry me a little bit, but he was already in at this point. But yeah, I remember him starting really strong, didn't he, Maddison, last season?
Yeah.
I don't know if you boys remember, though. There was a point where Porro was cleaning up bonus, and then there was a point where Maddison was cleaning up bonus. I can't remember what the cause of it was. Was it when Maddison got injured, Porro got more?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was on more set players, weren't it?
Yeah, we'll see how that affects it, but I think I'm going to stick with him. And then Eze. Seems like his ownership is not that high on the overall, but it does seem like a lot of people do have him. I think Ben covered, or you both covered most of it, but the main question I keep sort of seeing is, will he do well with no Elise and then Mateta's at the Olympics? I think he might have scored today. I had a look back on FF stuff again at the match centre, and at the start of the last season, Elise was injured and Mateta wasn't a starter. Edouard was. And Eze scored 8, 6, 7, 8 in his first 4 matches without Elise. And then Mateta only started one of them, which was the cup game. Funny enough, scored a hat-trick. Eze didn't start that one, came off the bench and got 2 assists. So hopefully he should still be all right. But I think there's a lot of choice around that mark. I don't think I've got much more to add on the strikers. Got the same front.
You set a template, you lads.
I can't believe that.
The same.
Is it all three of us?
I can't believe you've got the same front seven.
Yeah.
Oh, you two have set a template.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. I saw Ben had him, and I said, "We'll get pelters if people go Ghana and get it wrong." So we don't recommend copying this one. This is a bit of an experimental pick.
0.3% owned. I bet that might go up a little bit.
Right, jot that down. If anyone's crazy enough to go there. But yeah, I won't add anything on the strikers. We've got questions coming up. But I think we cover strikers quite a bit. So yeah, let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I feel a bit better. Gary's saying that he had Ghana for a spell last season. So I feel a little bit better there. Should we go in the questions?
Yes. I best put 50p meter here. I won't be able to read the notes.
Again. Well,
1 second.
You've got some mini leagues, so quickly put money in the. You put money in the meter. I'll do the Patreon.
Oh, you do the mini leagues.
Yeah. Obviously we're doing this live with our Patreon members, but if you are interested in becoming a Patreon member, there's a link in the description below. Got a little bit here about these two pros. What have we got here? Multiple top 50 finishes from you two. I'm definitely not in that. 27th. Was that from you, Ben? Or was that from Tony?
Come on.
Tony finished 27th last year.
Back-to-back top 50s for Tony. 19th for you.
Yeah.
And I'll bring the vibes. But yeah, for less than the price of a coffee, you can get access to the Patreon. You get early access to the pods. Join us live. You've got your fixture ticker in there now, so it shows when all the international breaks are, the possible draws for all of the cups.
We have lights.
Tony has. You can help to keep Tony's lights on as well.
Just wired it up to next door's electric,
and then access to the Discord as well. Link in the description below. Over to you, Tony.
Right, cash leagues. Let's get involved. £25 entry for the main cash league this year. I think same as last season. We're going to have multiple payouts throughout the season, so we get quite a few different winners, but then keep obviously a nice, big, healthy pot left up for the overall winners and as many places as we can, obviously depending on how many entries. All the details on the screen. Contact us on Twitter, bank accounts there, or PayPal, either or. Just use reference Cash League on your payment. Next slide, Stan. There we are. And then the Tag Team League. Always good to do something a little bit different. Grab a mate, team up. And it's £25 entry per manager, £50 for a team. Great bit of fun this throughout the season. The league is updated live on ffstuff.co.uk, so you don't have to go adding your own points up and this, that, over. It's all shown on there, which is really handy. Thanks for that, Mike. And if you do team up with someone that you don't really know, don't worry, because the payments for the winners is paid out to the individual managers. But yeah, if you do join this one, same bank account, same PayPal, but use reference Tag Team and let me know your tag team managers, your mate's name, so I can put you on the spreadsheet. Have you two got your teammates for this season?
Yeah. I'm with Magoo again.
And are you with Scott?
Me and Con will have to have words. It might be. We might go our separate ways. We'll see. I'll let him down in the Euros. I'll have to see if he forgives me. We'll see. But no, not currently decided yet. But I'll be in there. Questions?
Let's go.
Budget enablers. This is what everyone wants. And they don't want Ghana. So I've split this. So we had a question from Patrick, Gregory, Miss Noopy, David F, and Andy Barnett. All around the same sort of thing. So Patrick was asking just best budget enablers. Gregory wanted 2.5 and under. Miss Noopy's being ambitious. She wants a 1 mil to 1.5. Not sure I can produce that. David F wants under 3 mil. And Andy wanted defenders below 3. So 3 and under. Should we work our way through?
Let's just kick off with the Miss Noopies, because obviously I know she's after like 1.5 million player, but someone who's going to play.
Yeah.
I've got one for her. It's not a goalkeeper; it's an outfield player, but it's going to cost you a striking spot. And it's someone who had a cracking season last year at Hull, who's now signed for Ipswich. It's Liam Delap, ex-Man City striker, quality player. He has got a bit about him, Liam Delap. And if Ipswich do score a few goals this season, then I think he'll be in amongst it. But what that's going to enable you elsewhere on the pitch, it'd have to be pretty good, because if you're looking at 1 million, 1.5, I think that's a keeper for me. It'd have to be a keeper or a defender.
Yeah. I've got nothing at 1 mil, 1.5.
It's tough to find someone who's going to play, because that's
less Murich.
Yeah, it's all right. You could pick a £1 million player that. Where did I see the James Hill thing? I think James Hill's on his way back to Rovers. Whoever put that question about. James Hill won't be at Bournemouth. I think he's coming back to Rovers for the season on loan. So, yeah, there's nobody I can see that are going to be starters.
James is asking the question that I was thinking. Has Delap got a long throw?
The real Delap.
No, I didn't really have anything at this sort of price point. I feel like if you're going down to that price, I think you just try and make it work and drop someone else down, don't you? That's how I sort of felt about it. You got to sacrifice somewhere.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben? What do you reckon?
I reckon at 1.5 million, Southampton, the goalie Alex McCarthy, he was the number 1 last year, and he's 1.5 million. He's played most of the pre-season games as well. There is another goalie that's started a game for Southampton. He's only 1 million, but I don't believe he'll start. So yeah, it's pretty hard.
What's happened to Bazuna?
He's not playing now.
Has he been kicked out?
I don't know if he got an injury or whatever, but Alex McCarthy played the last part of the season. He played the playoff final, and I might be injured. I'll just double check. But Alex McCarthy's been playing in the pre-season games, and they had a Polish goalkeeper. Forgot his name now, but he was out on loan and he come back this season and he started one of the games. Yeah, I don't think he's injured, Bazunu, so I don't know why.
He's nowhere near.
He hasn't.
I know he was getting quite a bit of stick from fans the other year. He got blamed for quite a few goals, I think, Bazuna. So
we've got the 2 million. We've got our goalkeepers, haven't we? I think a lot of people are deciding between the two Forest keepers. And you've got your Leicester keeper.
Yeah.
Anything else, 2 that stands out?
Yeah, well, if Mateta's at the Olympics, Edouard, 2 million, he should start. Obviously, they might have he might play in the cup as well in the second game week. So Palace have Brentford away, West Ham at home, and then the Carabao Cup game. He might play that as well. And also, I like the look of that Kamada they've just signed. He's only 2 million, playmaker.
David's just shouted him out actually as well.
Yeah.
Is it more like number 10 sort of?
Yeah, he's got a good record at was it Stuttgart, no, Frankfurt. Sorry, Frankfurt. He was at. He scored over 10 goals in the last few seasons, but then he went to Lazio last year and he only got 2 goals.
Yeah, I looked in. He had a bad season last season, but looked good before that.
He's already scored in pre-season for Palace, and he's playing in an advanced role in one of the number 10 roles. So playing with 2 like 10s behind the striker. So
How much did you pay for Kamada?
I think they got him for free.
Oh, did they?
I think they did, yeah.
Nice
And
bit of business.
they're getting. I don't know if it's official yet as well, but it sounds like they're getting Ismail Assar. So he'll be probably taking Elise's slot, won't he? They won't be short of attackers.
Yeah, get him on for dribbles. Loves a run, that lad.
And then obviously your boy Barco or Barso.
Barco, yeah. Yeah. Like I was saying before, it looks good on set pieces for Brighton, especially now Gross is gone. So, yeah. Good pick. 2 million. Obviously, goalkeepers as well, but there's quite a few. We've named a few goalkeepers. You got any others?
I was going to ask. I'll ask you guys, but I'll also ask the chat as well because I know I've just seen Connor's in there actually. Evening Connor, but Kelly, the new signing at Newcastle's 2 million. A lot of people have asked me, will he play left back? But I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I know they've got Hall as well. Any ideas whether or not he might be near starting?
No idea. Played under Howe before at Bournemouth, so you'll know about him. But yeah, but just see they've only played one game, haven't they, Newcastle in pre-season? So
yeah,
just have to keep an eye on the friendlies and see what the lineups are like. But I don't think he'll start. I think it might be Dan Burn and Share at the back.
Yeah. You know, still scraping the barrel on it at 2. You got any, Tony? I reckon Ben might have the best one there with Barco. I think he looks good. Let's go to 2.5. There's a lot more. Oh, hang on. David F jumping in. What about Leif Davis, Ipswich?
Yeah.
He's one who had loads of assists, didn't he?
Yeah.
Unbelievable amount of assists.
Yeah. I definitely got my eye on him, but obviously the fixtures aren't great to start with. I think they got Liverpool, Man City first 2 games. So
Liverpool City first 2.
It could be -4. -4 before he starts.
Here we go. Con producing. No way Kelly plays left back. Don't think he'll start. It'll be a rotation. Thank you to our Newcastle correspondent. 2.5, lads. Much nicer. Much more choice, I think.
Yeah. It's look at Emerson, West Ham. 2.5 million. Attacking.
Yeah.
Really attacking, in fact. I think he got 176 points last season. Did all right. They've signed Kilman, haven't they, from Wolves? Which is a nice signing.
Good signing.
Very good player. Good defender. Big lad, likes to drive out from the back as well. So he might do all right. I think he's 2.5 million. Also got down here.
I don't think he's not 2.5. But if they sign Wan-Bissaka, West Ham, then have sort of Kilman and is it Zuma?
Kilman, Zuma, Wan-Bissaka.
Emerson. That's a pretty decent backline, isn't it? Really. Yeah,
definitely. Moving away from the defenders a little bit. Obviously, you got Garner, aren't you, at 2.5 million. Like at the look of a couple of Bournemouth lads, Semenyo, who did all right last season, scored quite a few. Loves a shot. Tavernier as well, 2.5 million. Grabbed a few goals and assists. Who else have I got there at 2.5? That's about it. Oh, Alanga at Forest. Obviously, again, they've got nice fixtures to start. I think he ended up scoring all right, to be fair, Alanga, by end of the season. Yeah. That's all I've got at 2.5.
Ben?
I like the look of Rodgers at Aston Villa. Before he got injured, he was pretty nailed in the starting lineup. And I've had him in drafts as well. But especially with Villa in Europe as well, could be one to bring in a few weeks' time. Get those double game weeks if he's starting all the games. He might get hooked early, but he got an injury right at the end of the season, and he missed the end of the season. But he was on form. He was scoring goals and getting assists. So I like the look of him. Got to give a shout out to Vardy, 2.5 million. I can't believe how cheap he is. But it takes up a striker slot, and I can't see him playing in the Carabao Cup. That's the only thing that puts me off him. But goals per 90 minutes, XG 0.97 in the Championship last year. He got 18 goals in 18 starts, and he finished 5th top goal scorer. So at the start of the season, he was hardly starting.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the season, he started playing, started putting him in, and he was scoring goals for fun. So, yeah. Andres Pereira at Fulham. And, Andres Pereira at Fulham, 2.5 million on penalties and some set pieces. Also, new signing at Fulham, your man from Arsenal, Smith Rowe, could be a good player if he can stay fit.
Yeah, made out of bloody Weetabix, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's a shame because he's bloody talented as well.
Yeah, and I liked the look of another ex-Leicester player, Castagna, 2.5 million, cheaper wing back at Fulham, and he did quite well last year on the bonus as well. There's a few. What do you think?
Yeah, I went through all my for Andy's question. Defenders below 3 million that pick up points rather than clean sheets, and I literally ended up with Fulham and West Ham. Fulham and West Ham defenders. So they like Robinson, Emerson, Castagna, Soufal. One that I wanted to ask you about before we go off topic, Scott, is Kiwior. Obviously, Arsenal have strengthened, haven't they? What's he called? Calafiore.
Yeah.
With him. Kiwior, obviously, naturally centre half, but we're playing left back.
He won't be there.
No?
Nah, I don't think so. I think I wouldn't be surprised if him and possibly Zinchenko go. I think Kiwior will definitely go. I'm pretty sure. Apparently he's been attracting attention from some of the Italian clubs.
Right.
So I think we're happy to just move him on. I think it seems like
I'd have kept him and got rid of Zinchenko, to be fair.
Yeah.
Why don't they give Zinchenko a chance in midfield?
That's what I was saying to I'm in a few different Arsenal groups, and I was saying that's what I would do. Try Zinchenko out in that sort of left centre mid role. Maybe not starting every game, but the games where we're trying to break teams down or low block sort of matches, like he's a really good footballer.
Great player.
Yeah, he's a really good player. And the only times we were struggling was he was getting found out. We'd start him at left back, and teams were just punting it straight to our left back position, and he was getting beat in the air and all sorts. So yeah, I still think he's got something to offer in midfield, but whether or not that's the sort of player that Arteta fancies in midfield, I'm not sure. But Chris Wood's getting a lot of attention. I wouldn't do it. But 15 goals last season, potentially on pens, but depends whether Awoniyi's back.
I think Awoniyi's back fit now, isn't he?
Yeah, it's just whether who starts or not. I know Chris Wood's a bit of a FPL train at the minute, but I'm not really feeling that. I think the striker spots on this game are too valuable. I did look at Areola at 2.5. I know it's an extra sort of 0.5 on what we're at for the 2 mil. But I was looking at saves per game, and he was the highest out of everyone. So 4.5 saves a game, so to get himself another couple of points for saves. And that points per million would have put him as the best value keeper that is a number one. So I thought he looked pretty good, but no, I think should we go on to 3 million? I'll shout a few out in the chat as well because there's a few good options here. So David Parker's saying Anya and Murillo from Forest, 2 million. So if you're not going for the Forest keeper, I'd imagine you could go there. You could double up if you fancied it, but again, David saying Rogers, Connor, Hudson-Odoi, Brennan Johnson, Minty. Oh, Minty. Can't stop picturing Minty from EastEnders every time I see his name. Like, he looks. Do you know what? I watched. I listened to a pod. I can't remember the guy's name now. It was one of the guys from Stats Bomb, and I'd listened to it a couple of days earlier, and he was sort of saying he's the new Messi. And I was like, oh yeah. I'd never seen him play, and then he went and scored the next day, cutting in off the right. And then he scored in the following match as well. I think he's got back-to-back goals in these pre-season. And as Connor's saying, sold from Newcastle. And then Brennan Johnson, yes, that's been. What do you reckon, Brennan Johnson? I'm not fancying that. Is he? How much is he?
3 million. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about him losing minutes to Kulusevski, so I wouldn't go there. You want players that are nailed and hopefully get 90 minutes really.
Yeah, they have quite a bit of rotation, won't they, with Kulusevski, Richarlison.
That's why I just like this Garner. That's what's doing it for me with Garner at the minute. He's nailed. He's going to play all the minutes. He might not be flash. He might not have a step over in him, but he's going to get you the tackle points, all the dirty work.
Yeah,
I like it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Brighton have got two other good wingers, haven't they? Really, they've got one injured at the moment, Solly March. They've got Mitoma, the Japanese Messi, and then you've got Andingra as well, who can play on either wing. So there's going to be rotation there, unless Minty absolutely flies off. And
big money, though. Big money move.
Mm.
I'm just hoping this Brighton manager doesn't do what De Zerbi done and just dragging players at half time, rotating every week.
Yeah,
they're gonna have good options if they.
You need to see what's going to happen at Brighton, don't you? You need to just leave it for a few games and assess.
Should we blast through a few 3 millions and then move on? Been on these enablers for a while, but it's still a question everyone needs, though, isn't it? To try and get these big boys in. 3 million. Oh, we've obviously got Livramento already. We've got Robinson for the reasons we've mentioned. Anyone else?
One at Centurion team, Munoz.
Yeah. Munoz, Moreno, Villa. He's an attacking defender.
Don't you think Maatsen might take his place? They just signed from Chelsea. They've got 3 good left backs now, haven't they?
I'm looking in for when Europe starts.
There's no need, is there? Is that Digne, Moreno, Maatsen?
Yeah.
Surely one goes.
Yeah, they've got to.
Did they play one further forward?
Moreno's. He plays half of his game up there anyway, doesn't he, Moreno?
Yeah.
So yeah, he might do. Might play further forward. Kobe Manu, good value at 3 million. Once he comes back into the fold, obviously got a bit of.
Yeah.
We'll find out this season how good of a dream team player he is. But he's capable of a goal, capable of an assist. The way he plays on the eye, he looks like he'd be good for PPM. Just have to see.
Who have I got down here? I put Huang from Wolves, but their fixtures are
they're terrible.
Awful.
They've got a horrible start, haven't they?
But they've got Huang and Ait-Nouri both at 3 million. That would be amazing picks if their fixtures were nice.
Yeah.
And he's a midfielder, isn't he, on the game?
Yeah,
Wang.
Wang's been moved back to a midfielder now. He was a striker, wasn't he? I think last one, and he could potentially be on pens. I think we were asking this question quite a bit last season. They just never had anyone fit at the same time. But yeah, 13 goals, 3 assists last season. Might Nouri smash bonus, but I think it's a bit of a waiting game until their fixtures turn.
Yeah.
And you got Muniz at Fulham, who was on fire, wasn't he, at one point last season?
Yeah, it
I was
was.
surprised. 10 goals. I thought he would have had more than that. It seemed like he was banging them for a while, didn't it?
Yeah.
But he's now taken the number 9 shirt at Fulham. So, main man. I reckon he could be all right. But then I just can't help but think for 3.5, if you can get Pedro or Cunha, you can then start to play the bonus game again, can't you? That we've been liking the look of. Any others?
Dan Burn, 3 million as well. Cheap way into the Newcastle back line.
This is the thing with the fullbacks at Newcastle, isn't it? It's like it's all up in the air, really. Dan Burn, left back. Is he going to play Lewis Hall? Is he going to play? If they still got Target there as well.
Yeah, he won't get in, no, will he?
It's just there's obviously Trippier, Livramento, right back. Livramento can probably play left back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Dan Burn though.
Botman's injured, isn't he? So he might play centre half.
Yeah, good shout.
Ben, 1 ex-Leicester and 1 current Leicester.
What's that?
Mavadidi.
Yeah.
2.5. Reckon he can do anything on the game?
I mean, he had a fantastic season last year. I think he had 13 goals, 6 assists. And he played him as a number 10 in the game against Shrewsbury, and he scored a free kick. I mean, he can go either way with the ball. He's an exciting player. I'd like to see him playing number 10, actually. He played left wing last season. But it's a wait and see for me. He's very cheap, though, 2.5 million. And you got the other one as well, Fatawu. He's 2.5 million. He got 13 assists and 7 goals last year. He scored a hat-trick in one of the games. He's a really exciting player. He's only like 19 years old. We bought him from Sporting Lisbon. Got him on loan last year, and we bought him now. Yeah, so he's like in the kudos mode. Plays for Ghana as well, so he's playing. I think Kudos plays as a number 10 for Ghana, and he plays on the right. But Fatu's been playing on the left in pre-season and the right, so he's just having a look at the team at the moment and seeing what he needs.
Yeah.
And then one that's gone, Dewsbury Hall. Have they got? What are they going to do with him?
Well, if it was any other manager, just some random, like say it was Pochettino in charge, I wouldn't have a clue. But I think he'll have a plan for him. We spent that much money on him.
Taking him for a reason, yeah. Yeah,
and he must have loved him last year because he was our best player of the season. He'll be playing him in the number 8, like 2 8s. We played with like 2 8s last year, so he'll be playing the left side, attacking role, I would imagine.
Sounds like Gallagher's gone Atletico, so maybe taking his sort of spot in the team.
No, totally different player.
Yeah,
totally different player. He's more attacking. He's like late runs into the box and scores lots of goals. So be interesting to see how he gets on. But he's not played in pre-season so far. I think he might have a knock. So I'm waiting to see how he gets on.
At 3? Or should we go? Move on.
I have no more.
Yeah, no more.
All right. Next up, we had a lot of use of the word essential. Anyone we feel is essential for this game. Twed was asking, is Bruno essential? And Magoo was asking, any previous players that we would have deemed essential? Maybe like a Salah or De Bruyne that we think this season are not. It's probably easier to reverse it and just say, are there any players that you currently think are essential that you have to have?
I think, obviously, there's seven of the most owned players so far at the top of the game. 5 of them are English lads: Saka, Foden. Who else is up there? Saka,
Palmer,
Foden, Palmer, Watkins, Gordon. I don't think they're essential for the first week, but I'm going to be clambering to get some of these lads in. Like, I think Saka is essential. I think he proved that last season. As soon as he's back in that Arsenal team, I want him in my team. Palmer obviously won't play the first game, but then he absolutely carried Chelsea last season. He were absolutely brilliant. And again, he's going to score for fun. So I think Palmer will be essential. I think there's a little bit of a change in the guard. Like you say, Salah, De Bruyne, and Goose mentioned about, obviously in previous seasons they have been essential, but you're probably looking more towards like a Foden, Palmer, Saka as being the lads that are essential this time. They're just like touching on Bruno Fernandes. There were 9 players last season that averaged more points than him, and 3 of them players are cheaper than him this season, which is Son, Bowen, and Eze. They didn't all outscore him, but they average more. So obviously, I mean, Eze, if he played a full season, he'd be well up there. But yeah, I don't think apart from Palmer, Saka, Haaland, I don't think I'd put any more in that bracket.
Yeah, probably like De Bruyne has been one of them players over the years. You just got to get him in when, especially second half of the season, and just let him get all the points from the goals and the assists. But it's a different game now with all the bonus points. There's so many options. You don't have to go mad on really expensive players to have a good team. Really, loads of ways of scoring points. But yeah, I do agree with Tony that these English players and the Spanish players are going to be not essential in the first week, but you're going to want your Palmer and your Saka and Foden in eventually. So yeah, I don't like to say anyone's essential though. Like looking at Liverpool's first game and Man City's second game, you're going to want Haaland, Salah for them few games, I think. But yeah, what about you? What do you think?
I'd only say Salah and Haaland, and I know a lot disagree because I don't know if many people are going to start with both or sacrifice one of them. I just can't. I can't do it with. There's no disrespect to Ipswich, but you got the 2 best strikers on the game with one of the best fixtures that they're going to get this season in the first 2 matches. You're going to want to captain, I think. I'm going to want to captain Salah against Ipswich, I think. And then Haaland, whether or not you go for a Carabao Cup or captain him against Ipswich at home, I think is going to be a big argument. Yeah, I think maybe if it's later on and the fixtures weren't looking good or whatever, but they've both had a full pre-season going into it fresh. And that's the reason why I think just them 2 really currently. I know they're at a high price point, but they're there for a reason. It's because they score a ridiculous amount of goals every year without foul. So they're the only 2 for me to start off with at least.
So it's running the risk of these English lads coming back, like Saka, Palmer, if they come on and play 30 minutes and get 1 point, don't do much, you could be well with running the risk of getting a 0.3 minus the following week. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Like I know Palmer's percentage of ownership is something like 60%.
I think he'll start the first game. Palmer.
Do you think?
Yeah, I will save it. We've got a Euro question. We've got a Euro players coming back from the Euro, so we'll save it. Ben, you covered a lot of the Leicester players when we were doing that, but I know you've done Vardy and you've done Vestergaard. You spoke about Cody.
Yeah, just the wing backs really I haven't covered. So you got Ricardo Pereira, who has been a fantastic servant for Leicester, and he's had his injury problems over the seasons, but he was fantastic when Brendan Rodgers was in charge, and he was like one of the best fullbacks in the league. But he just kept getting injured and injured and injured. But this season, he's played 45 matches, and that's the most games he's ever played for Leicester. And maybe he's saved his legs because he's been playing as an inverted right back instead of a attacking right back. But yeah, 45 games, 4 goals, 3 assists from an inverted position. But in the first friendly, Cooper had him playing again as a right attacking, basically a striker, but on the right winger, basically. And so the left centre back was tucking in, and he was bombing on and staying high, while Fatawu was on the left hand side, staying high from left midfield. So be interesting to see how they get on in these friendlies. I'm monitoring the formations and that. But yeah, I'm really interested in Pereira, but obviously starts against Tottenham, and I don't really want to double up with two Leicester defenders at the goalie. I mean, I'm open to changing the goalie, but yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Ricardo. And then you've got James Justin on the other side, who's got 2 goals and 2 assists last year, and he was playing as an not inverted, like he was tucking in as like a left-sided centre-back, but he was still getting a few shots away in that. He's only 2 million on the game. But they've got Victor Christensen back from loan. He was on loan at Bologna, and Bologna smashed it last year, and they got in the Champions League. He's 2.5 million. He plays for Denmark as well. He was at the Euros. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets it all going. It's still so early. Like, obviously, there's loads of players just come back from holiday after the Euros, and they might have only played 1 game in pre-season. So be interesting when we get to that last week before the Premier League starts. That's when you start thinking. That's when you start seeing the managers putting out their ideal lineups, and hopefully it goes well for them, because then we know that's the lineup. Because if it doesn't go well, then he'll be back to the changing it again. So yeah.
Any strong feelings on Salah, Haaland, or both? All 3 of us have got both.
Yeah.
I think we sort of covered it. That's just
unanimous.
Yeah, move on. Is Trent worth 5.5?
No.
Any justification?
Well, I mean, if he's going to play that role at Liverpool and play a little bit as that inverted fullback, I mean, he failed for England in that position. I just think for 5.5 million, I'm not slating Trent. I mean, he's an absolute machine points wise when he gets going. But 5.5 million, that's almost Saka. You mean that's the difference? That's what you're looking at. It's either Saka. Would you rather have Trent, Saka, or Palmer? You're having Saka and Palmer all day long.
That's what I'd sort of written down. So he was on a 6-point average. Porro was on a 5.8, but for 4 million, he'll have Europe. Vardiol was on 5.7, so that's near enough 6. 4.5 million. You might say he didn't play quite as many games, so he would have racked up more points. But I wrote down the same. So I think it was Bruno G, Isak, Kudus, Bowen, Son, Eze, all had much or just higher average points, but for less money.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like that I don't know how he's going to play or how Liverpool are going to play at the moment as well. I don't think he's going to do badly. That's not what I'm saying. Just could you maybe spend the money better? I think maybe he could. Ben disagrees.
I think so.
I think he's a good pick. 5.5 million. He's been 6.5 in the past. He missed 22 games last season through injury, 6 for hamstring, and what was the other one? Torn. I forgot now. Anyway, but 22 games. He scored 223 points, and he missed 22 games. And he averaged 6 points a game. If you add that on, so 132 points extra, he would have got 355 points if he played the full season. Obviously, that's just averaging it out over six points. But yeah, I just think great start to the season. He's got Ipswich, Brentford at home, Man United away, Forest at home, Champions League, then Bournemouth at home, Carabao Cup, Wolves, Champions League. So it just goes on. And like you say, you can always sell him for someone else later on. I just want to start with him. And you got that
game's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've got the potential. So if he plays the same way that the right back played for Feyenoord, Gertruda, he scored a lot of goals last year. Just it was like tucking in. He wasn't staying in a defensive midfield. He was like bombing on into the strikers' positions and scoring goals. So I'm excited to see if he does the same thing with Trent. And also, he's getting clean sheet points if they get a clean sheet. So if he can get the attacking returns and the clean sheet points, he could be coming out with like 13s, 15s, 18 points. So yeah, I'm going to start with him and see how it goes. Obviously, it's still early days. Like I said, we're going to see a few more friendlies yet.
Yeah. I think that's a fair argument both ways.
It'd be interesting, won't it, to see how Slot sees him slot into the team.
Andy Barnett wants to know best approach for these first few weeks with the Carabao Cup and Europe. Fixture ticker there, but we've got a mixture, haven't we? Really? Game week 4.
Just plan for them first 2 weeks. For me, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just attacking them first 2 fixtures. But let's have a look at them, box them off, and then obviously you go start planning towards Europe. But
you got 6 transfers, haven't you? Yeah. Really, till Europe starts.
Yeah.
So,
like when we used to plan obviously 5 transfers a month. So we used to plan our month. Whereas now in 2 weeks, towards the 3rd week, you're getting 6 transfers, or in 2 weeks, you're getting 4 transfers. That's enough to plan. So I'm half in it, going to a 2 week game.
You might even have Carabao. You don't know yet. You might have Carabao Cup still in game week 4 anyway, and it might not be as much as you could still have doublers there. That's a strange week, isn't it? That's going to catch people out, I think.
It is. It's a weird one, that.
Clashes with Europe and Carabao, it looks like, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're going to split it over 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we've looked into it, haven't it? And they're going to seed it so that the Champions League teams don't play the Europa League teams in the 3rd round. Because the 3rd round split over 2 weeks, isn't it?
So then they can just alternate the fixtures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got plenty of time to sort of navigate that, I reckon. Right, this was Diamond Dog. Do we consider ownership percentage when building our initial teams? He's keen to start off with a relatively safe team with 1 or 2 lesser owned players that he thinks might give an early edge. Good idea, bad idea. What do you reckon?
I like what he's saying. It can be. I mean, if you look at my midfield and you see the ownership on Saka, Palmer, Foden, I mean, if they all play in that first game week and they go off, I'd probably struggle to recover. But yeah, I don't particularly look at it myself, and I just try and pick off what I feel. But it's not a bad idea. If you are a reserve manager and you want to get by for the first few weeks, feel it out, and see what's happening, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, great. If you want to just stay with the majority and just see how it goes, pick all the high owned players, and then obviously, like you say, put a couple of not enablers, differentials in there, obviously as well, because if they go off, then you'll be really high up. Yeah, I like the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any massive standout ones for ownership other than obviously Haaland. Then Palmer at like 58%. That one surprised me. But I use that as an example. I'm not going to look at that and think I need to put Palmer in because he's 58%. I think still back yourself at times. I think maybe consider why might so many people have put this person in. But yeah, I think I'm going to start paying more attention to it on FF stuff, looking at people around me after maybe 4 or 5 weeks. I reckon start with what I think and then move after that.
I think if you want to go on and win this game, I think obviously a good start is essential. But if you want to go on and win Dream Team and finish very high up, you've got to. If you do what he's saying, and you're going to stick in a load of 60%, 55% high owned players in there and go off that and just have a couple of differentials. If your differentials don't do anything, you literally just going to be stuck in the mud. You're like right in the middle of the pack. Not much is going to go on. You've got to back yourself, and you've got to pick these different players each week or every 2 weeks. You've got to throw someone in there that you just have a hunch about. You just you've found a little thing like, I don't know, he's got this nice fixture, and maybe he'll probably start that Carabao Cup fixture because they've got 2 or 3 strikers injured, so he's probably going to play. There's little things you're going to try and get an advantage from somewhere and hope that pays off. If you just follow the crowd, you will be stuck within the crowd.
But there'll be plenty of time to pick your moments, though, won't there?
Oh yeah, there is. As we know, it's a long season. That's why this is a better game, not like that European crap, you know. No, but there is a lot of opportunity. But a good start it's essential, really. You want to get off to a good run, and there's no better than to attack these early fixtures without these European fixtures. Where you can go a little bit different. You can get some points from different places.
You'd be surprised, wouldn't you? You'll be surprised that there'll be a lot of people that will try and put their full 11 of like European or something like that and not even pay attention to Carabao. So you will start to pull ahead at different times, maybe.
They will, and do you know what? The amount of people that put all European in, and then there's very few players from our choices that actually play in the Carabao Cup, and they're more prepped than what we are for the game week 4 onwards and stuff. It swings, roundabouts, and all that. We don't know. We just try to do it to the best of our knowledges.
We've got Aman in the chat. He's got a question for us. Haaland, Salah, Isak template. Are we going against it? I don't know if you've been here from the start, Aman, but we're all on it. There's a template. Yeah. And I guess we're all going. We all seem like we're going for it to start off with. But any thought maybe Ollie Watkins? He's the standout one that's sort of left out. I'm thinking
it's just because
Europe.
It's just because he's in the Euros. So
yeah,
I'm looking at thinking, do you go against Isak and put Gordon in? But again, Euros. I know they've not played and stuff, but they've been away, haven't they? Away from their families. So they're going to have downtime regardless. There's a lot of options from England, isn't there? A lot of options. We've got such a good team.
Pedro. Are you not tempted by? I couldn't. We said the Wolves fixtures are terrible, but I was tempted by João Pedro, but he's not on tour at the minute with them in pre-season, so I don't know if he's going to make it by the start either. So I feel a little bit forced into it, but I think Watkins by the start of Europe.
Yeah.
Hopefully he takes the penalties now as well with David Luiz leaving. Is David Luiz? Douglas Luiz.
Where's Douglas Luiz gone?
Is it Juventus?
Yeah, and his girlfriend, isn't it?
Has she signed with Juventus as well?
Yeah, the first couples transfer.
Wow. That's a joke.
Hey. Couples that play together stay together. That sent him. He's off. We've talked to Euros, haven't we? Really, but what do you think? He's put Palmer, Saka. Reckon they'll start. I think they're both going to start.
Yeah, I think they'll start, but it's just you can't say, "Oh, yeah, definitely going to start," can you?
No, we don't know.
We don't know yet. But you mean you want to start the season off well, don't you? So you're probably just going to go, yeah, just take it easy. You won't play any pre-season, and then, but then they've still got to build up the fitness because they've been off for a few weeks. So
the only one I sort of definitely believe is I do think City. I just think they're that good. They got that much depth. Like I do think he'll probably rest some. He might rest a Foden, but he can give them half each, can't he? He could start Foden, bring De Bruyne on at half time. Yeah. Well, I think we'll come to that one. I think nearer the time with more info. This one from Magoo. After last year's experience of the new rules, any players you target for bonus rather than just goals, clean sheets? That's we're sort of in agreement. That's the way we might try and play this.
Yeah,
aren't we? On the old bonus points. I think we're kind of showing it with our drafts a little bit. I'll be looking for. I'm going to try and look for bonus if I can at any opportunity. I think now. I did look and it doesn't make up the bulk of the points, but it's just so nice to not blank. I think.
Just tops it up a little bit, doesn't it? The bonus points. Yeah. Well, you can see from our teams that we've gone for a lot of bonus magnets. So, yeah, I think we're all going to be going there, trying to get bonus on top of goals and assists.
Right, Andy Barnett, if you decided to set up your team to try and win that 5K in game week 1, you probably have a lot of players that don't have double game weeks going into Europe. But is this really a big disadvantage if you get it right and have a few more points, but need a couple more game weeks to mold your squad? Hey, you'll take a big score game week 1, wouldn't you?
Oh, as my tag team partner, Andy, are we going halves? If one of us wins the 5K in game week 1, what are we doing? You have to let us know. Yeah, I mean, just go for it in game week 1. If you win game week 1, you've had an absolute monster start. I think it's you got 2 transfers next week. Don't worry about it.
I think with that Carabao Cup, you save yourself whatever route you go down, don't you? Because you've got, if you're not all on Europe, you're going to have a few more Carabao Cup players, hopefully, if they start.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be at a massive disadvantage unless you're choosing a team that does have really bad fixtures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. And he's in the chat now. He'll split with you.
Happy days. They are.
Split or steal.
That were a dodgy program, that weren't it?
Golden balls.
That was it.
There was that one
ruthless clip of that girl, wasn't there?
That's what they do in Love Island, isn't it?
Pretty much.
And then we'll end on a more light-hearted question from Andy. One, he's come just for this question there. He had a thin and crispy pizza that had a plum sauce as a base with shredded duck, cucumber, and mozzarella as a topping. Surprisingly tasty. What pizza sounds wrong but tasted great that you guys have had?
Do you know what? I love pizza. I love it.
I'm
It's
hungry.
probably my favorite food. But that, I mean, sounds wrong. I'll take your word for it, Andy, that it tasted great. I have never had anything as exotic as that on a pizza, though. Pretty,
Like one of them pancakes, isn't it?
yeah.
Again, Chinese. You roll your pizza slice up. A little bit.
Don't
You know what,
start
it's
there,
making me hungry. We said we're going to start eating a bit healthier, and I'm bloody starving now reading that. Cheers, Andy,
yeah,
mate.
I could eat that. I could eat pizza right now. But yeah, sorry. I've nothing crazy to add. Just plenty of chilies, plenty of meat. That's what you want.
Ben Parmo's pizza, isn't it?
I had pizza today for my tea. I had a meat feast. Proper nice. Spicy one as well. No, I had anything like mental on a pizza before. But I reckon that'd be quite nice actually. Yeah. I wouldn't have the cucumber though. I can't stand cucumber. But I do like a bit of crispy duck and plum sauce. So I think it'd be quite nice. Yeah, did you see David Parker's message about the Arsenal defence? He said you missed it.
Oh, sorry, mate. I was hungry. I was looking at the pizza question. Hang on, where are we? I prepared for this one as well, actually. Was it David's question?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Nobbles. It was Nobbles' question, actually. Right. Where are we? Arsenal. I'm starving. Arsenal defence and a void with so many options and prices. Are they in a void? Well, none of us have started with them. Oh, shall I go straight into my thinking?
Yeah, you go, mate.
I think they're overpriced. I do think the Arsenal defence are a bit overpriced, all coming in at 5. But we'll obviously wait and see what Calafiori comes in at. I'd be maybe tempted at 4 million. But if it's 4.5, I've got Vardiol anyway.
Novels is me.
I'm just looking. Oh, sorry, Nobbles. I'm used to calling you Nobbles, mate.
Brilliant.
We've got a lot of Davids in here. Sorry, Nobbles.
What, Dave?
Right. So I was looking at what I think for clean sheet. So Wolves the first game, I think possibility for clean sheet. Villa away, don't fancy that. I think Brighton at home, depending on what they're like under the new manager, I think that's a possibility. But then it's Spurs and City both away. I don't particularly like it for fixtures. Maybe 2 clean sheets out of the first. I know we have kept clean sheets against some decent teams, but I think I'd like to wait and see after Spurs and City. We've then got Southampton home, Leicester home. Double header. I think I'll probably try and make my mind up then. See where we're at. Just come Europe. We might have even dropped by then, some of them, depending how it goes. But yeah, I was just thinking like 5 million price point. You've got Kudus and Bruno G again. 5 million. Would you rather have Kudus or Saliba? Right, it's Kudus all day for me. For bonus. I know different positions, but if you're weighing up where you put the money.
That Calafiori come in at 6 million in FPO, didn't he?
What is funny though, depending whether Timber plays, and I'm going to talk about who I think will play where, but I like the price Timber at 3.5, and based on what, like he played like 2-3 games, and they're going to put him at 3.5 because he didn't score very well for the season, whereas everyone else is at like 5 mil, 5.5.
Yeah.
If they bring Calafiori in at 5 mil, like they've mimicked the prices on FPL as well, it just doesn't make sense to me. Because if we signed Timber today, it'd stick him at 5 mil. So if Timber does end up playing, he could be very tempting at that price. But I listen to a lot of Arsenal pods, and I've been looking at this defensive thing for a while, and I think Ben White, right back, seems nailed. Timber has been playing at centre back in pre-season, and someone asked him why hasn't Timber been playing at left back or right back, and he said he loves the triangle between Saka, Ødegaard, Ben White. He doesn't want to break that up. So I think at any opportunity, Ben White's going to play. Saliba, he said, has played so much football. He would like to have cover for Saliba. So he's been playing Timber there. So I think Timber might be cover at centre back. There may be a bit at left back. I do think Saliba, Gabriel both going to start. Timber will probably be cover. And I think from everything I've heard, I think Calafiori probably is going to come in at left back. So I think Calafiori might get a good run at left back. So we'll see what his price is. And Timber, I think, sounds like he's going to get eased in. But he's playing a lot in pre-season. So, again, wait for that last friendly, I think. But I think White, Saliba, Gabriel probably start as they did. And then left back is the one that's up for grabs.
I watched Timber curl one into top corner at Ewood Park in under 21s. And I think he's wasted at centre half.
Yeah. Well, I think, Christ. I think eventually we'll start to move to like a Man City style where it's really hard to sort of pick who's going to play when with all these games. But yeah, overall though, I think at the minute 5 million feels a bit overpriced for me. You go up 0.5 to Trent, don't you? Or you can get a cheaper option for better, I think, until you start to see that run of clean sheets.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nobbles. Missed you. But I had prepped. Right. I'm off to get my pizza now.
Come on. It's been emotional.
Right. Cheers, everyone. Like, subscribe, grab a pizza. If you want to become a Patreon member, link in the description below. Anything else?
Nothing to add. Thanks to everyone who continues to support us on the Patreon. Any new members, brilliant. Hope you've enjoyed your nice early access tonight and getting involved in the pod. So, yeah, thanks a lot.
Yep.
See you later, guys.
Second that. Cheers, everyone.
And get your teams into the cash leagues. Don't leave it when I'm having to deal with messages at 7:45 p.m. on that Friday night, and then it goes over the deadline, and someone sent me 25 quid, but I haven't got your entry. You just get it in. Get it in.
Get me early. Bye-bye.
See you later, chaps.